Hey everybody, welcome back to PB Eats with Chef K and my wonderful sous chef videographer who's on the other side, Leilani. And tonight we are making dinner for the family. So welcome again to my kitchen. And I want to give a quick shout out to Vremi or Vremi for these wonderful induction ready pans. And never used them before, so we're gonna try them out today and see how they cook. So this is kind of like a little review for Vremi, and we'll see what happens with that. But tonight we're going to be making Swiss chard with spinach, so those are our greens. We're also going to be making this pretty awesome white rice. Very simple, easy to make. You just pretty much have to boil the water and put it right in the pot, which we will use right here. And we have some beautiful Swiss rainbow chard from our garden. So I harvested these just moments ago. They're washed and they're ready. And I'm just gonna break these up by hand in our pot. And for our protein this evening, even though our greens have protein, we are going to have Beyond sausage. So if you haven't had this yet, it's really good as an alternative. Of course, we don't have these all of the time. It's good to, make sure you're eating the whole foods that are plant-based, but this is really good if you want that meaty bite. It also comes in, this is the original, but it comes in hot, like bratwurst, Italian style too. So this is the original, and you also can get like the hot or Italian style. All right, well, let's start cooking. So I'm gonna turn on the induction burner. Got 2 cooktops here, and we're just gonna bump that temperature up. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna fill this pot up with 1 1/3 cup of water. We use filtered water here, so we're gonna get that going. We just want this to boil. And then I'm gonna turn this one on. Good. So we're gonna get it going. And I have some spray here, some Great Value spray. Whatever pan spray you have, I'm just gonna put a little bit in there, because we don't want our sausages to stick. Open up this package, oh yeah, and lay them in our pan. So we're expecting this meal to be finished in 30 minutes or less. We know how a lot of folks just want to be able to make something very quick. So we're gonna see if we can do it tonight. That's the whole point. No one wants to stay in the kitchen for hours at a time unless you're like me and you're a professional chef and you just love to cook and you love to be in the kitchen. But even that has its limits. Sometimes I just want to have those easy, quick meals for the family, because to be perfectly honest, if I'm cooking all day, I don't want to do anything else. So I want to make it quick and snappy, and it's nutritionally dense or nutrient dense. So I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna discard this, and we're just gonna wait for our water to boil. This is already heating up. So our pan spray that we just used is now beginning to form into little droplets on the pan, so the pan is heating up very nicely. So we're just going to leave this as it is, and our water is going to boil in a few minutes. I'm actually going to turn the temp up, and we'll just wait for that. In the meantime, in between time, I'm going to break up some of those greens and put them in a pot. But first, let me wash my hands, because I had my hands all over here and I still feel some of the residue, so I'm going to wash them. I'll be back. So since this is our first time using the Vremi pans, I want to really see how they cook, like how the food cooks in them. And this is really good. Usually I use my cast iron pan, and you have to oil it up quite a bit and try to prevent the sausage or whatever it is that you're preparing from sticking in it. And this is wonderful. Like, it's literally, I was about to touch the inside of the pan. That would be bad because it's hot, but it's nice and smooth, almost like a non-stick, and it's really good. So yeah, it's moving around nicely. Hey, our water's boiling, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this off. I'm gonna set this here. we're actually going to put all of our contents of our bag of our white rice inside here. And I'll tell you about white rice in just a second. I'm going to stir it up a bit. And then I'm going to move it off to the side and we're going to cover it. So we have this little holder here. And we're going to cover it. Perfect. Alright, next up will be our chard and our spinach. But first, before I tell you about that, let me tell you a little bit about white rice. This is not white rice. And it's gluten-free, vegan, kosher, complete protein, low glycemic index. Really, really good. It's made out of lentil flour, chickpea flour, pea fiber, rice flour, sunflower oil, and it has spices in it. It has 10 grams of protein compared to white rice with 4 grams of protein. Lots of fiber because we need good food that's going to push right through the body. 5 grams of fiber and 25 grams of net carbs, where white rice has 39 grams. So you can't beat it. It's really, really good. All right, so now we're going to start on our chard and our spinach. I'm using just a little bit of coconut oil because I like the coconut flavorings, and actually I'm not going to beat down on my pan. My brand new pots. So the induction's already on and this is going to melt. Do you like my spatula? One of my students gave it to me. Thanks. Alright, see how that's melting right down there in the pot? We're going to break up this chard by hand. I'm going to get the rest of this coconut oil off here. Make sure we get that all in the pan. Put that here. And I'm just going to take this chard, literally, just like this. Take a few more pieces. We love the stems. Doesn't matter, they will cook down. So spinach and chard are related. They're cousins, so to speak. And that's going to cook down to almost nothing, which is why we have a big bunch here. Alright, we've already added our spinach into our chard mix. And we're not going to cover these with our lid because we want our greens to stay nice and bright green. Usually when you put the lid on the pot and that condensation happens and that heat and that steam, it wilts it very quickly and it starts to discolor. So we want to still keep those nutrients as much intact as possible without cooking them down until they're mushy brown. And then they won't be that great. So right now we're going to steam, have them steam openly, and we're going to add our seasoning. So I have some sea salt, some black pepper, I have some garlic powder, and I have onion powder. Simple. Sometimes we may throw in a little nutritional yeast, but tonight we're just going to keep it simple with these 4 ingredients here. I don't measure, so we're just going to dump whatever seems good. We're huge garlic fans. So get that garlic. We've got our onion powder. We've got our black pepper. And with the salt, I'm gonna, no. Salt Bae. That's a sad Salt Bae. Just a little bit. I didn't want to oversalt the greens. I would have had salt lick for greens. Alright, so we're just going to steam them down, and dinner will be ready in just a few minutes. How cool is that? Just want to show you guys the doneness of these sausages and take a look at what's inside the pan. There's no sticky, which is really good. These pans are going to make it really easy for cleanup, and they cooked all the way through. And I would say that I didn't even take the time to look at the time, but this is definitely less than 30 minutes. Sausages take about 15 minutes. The chard, if you can see the chard, all that beautiful chard that we had, look what it cooked down to. Almost nothing, but it's enough for us and our family. And to also show you, we have our right rice. So dinner is about to be served. We're gonna plate it up and yeah, stay tuned. The secret ingredient for our dinner tonight will be potatoes O'Brien. What we did, we prepared everything, but our vegetables cooked down so low. I was like, we need a little bit of extra stuff on our plate. So we got some frozen potatoes with the onions, and we just used the juice off of the sausages with no extra oil to just get these potatoes going. So this little block is frozen. It'll cook down in a matter of minutes, and we'll have potatoes O'Brien, and we'll show you how we plated up our dishes. All right, everybody, this is our meal for tonight. Potatoes O'Brien, Beyond Meat sausage, our chard, and our spinach with our right rice. And yeah, we're about to eat up. But before we dig into our plates and eat them, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Just go ahead and click that subscribe button. And to get notifications from us, make sure you hit the bell and make sure you have all of the notifications, not just personalized ones. And be sure to like this video. We'd love to see you all come back. And for our pots today with Remy, we will leave the link for you in the description below. They were great and awesome, so we will be using those in future videos. And okay, I'm done now. I'm hungry. Let's eat.